581.
Yep, Pasty Denny back in the hot seat.
Hello. It's White Boy Denny in the house. So we're going to keep on slurping on that 7542 because it deserves it.
Yeah. And we can also bounce over to the other tea too
exactly.
if you want.
A little sip of something sweeter. So, time of day and tea. A topic that everyone has been asking about. We're just trying to do a bit more topical stuff as well as the tea sessions because I think some people find them interesting.
I mean, they tend to do well. I mean, There's a lot of topics, and we've done a lot of episodes, so I mean, we have a lot of reviews. So
yeah, very true. We're gonna do some contrast here and go back to that ripe tea.
Cool. And one question for you TDB heads that have been following us a long time that we used to ask all the time was like, what time of day would you drink this tea?
Right.
And so that's sort of the question that we're trying to answer here.
Yeah.
And I think for me, kind of big picture too, I think the main thing is like there's certain times of day that you would drink a tea, and tea needs to fit into kind of like the context of a day somehow.
Right.
And so there are a lot of teas that for me are technically good, but if the answer is when would you drink this tea in the day and you can't find a time of day where you drink it, maybe the answer is never.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So starting the day.
Yeah.
You're the big blue pot guy. Right?
Big blue pot guy. Yeah.
Big blue pot guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And for me, it's the most casual, the least attention paid session of the day there, where I will drink some ripe in a big blue pot.
Exactly. And I'm the same way.
And I don't even log that stuff on my TDB.
Yeah.
That's how casual it is. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I have funnily enough, a big blue mug.
Big blue mug.
So mug club. But the first session for me, it's a wake up session.
Holy crap, that tastes so different after my palate is
exactly.
shut. Yeah.
Waking up, it's not supposed to be complex. I'm not going to notice all the complexities of that tea. So,
do you have it with food?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't.
I actually do have mine with
okay.
oatmeal and stuff. So
yeah, okay.
pretty bland food, but
right.
it's like it definitely detracts from like kind of optimal tasting.
But I will need after that session to have some food before I have some strong tea.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, I'll have a ripe in the morning, and it's not going to be the fanciest of teas for me personally. It's really intended to just sort of start the day.
So give some examples of ripes that you
love the Bada Brick to start the day. I'll have some of that 2012 Xiaofa. I would save maybe the 2005 one for later. Okay. Because I think it's a bit nicer and I want to pay attention to it a bit more.
So these generally your cheapest teas?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, exactly. 2010 75, 72, any of the brick teas, they're going to be great. But yeah, something that's going to be dense, dark, strong.
Uncomplex, unfussy.
Totally. Yeah, 100%. One that I also can just have half of and then baby pukes and I'm cleaning up and that's the end of that tea.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely more of a utilitarian brew, I'd say, to start, but one that I still really enjoy and look forward to and miss when I don't have it.
I will say that when we had a newborn in our house, that was pretty much the only tea I was drinking, was that very utilitarian.
Yeah.
And I did even the unthinkable. I microwaved my mug after it got cold. Oh, no! As such things happen.
And speaking of which, actually, to the casualness of how I'm brewing, if I have my clay pot, I'll brew 3 steepings into one big chahai and drink it out of that.
Yeah.
I'm not worried as much about the intermixing of the steepings.
Understanding steep 2 versus steep 4 or
it's
whatever.
not about that. It's about getting some of that sweet goodness inside. Then I'll have some food. So James, you've already eaten, so you probably would be at least prepared to have something a bit stronger. What would you follow up with that after that?
Well, usually I do like real life stuff for a while before I start an actual session. But probably the next session is when I have a relatively clean palate because it's been a little bit since I had tea. And that's probably when I would want to hit the tea that I most want my palate to be clean for in the day. So rather than save the best for last, especially when it's like a day where I'm not drinking with other people, I'm definitely going to hit the one that I'm going to enjoy the most.
Yeah.
So that tends to be like, I mean, it could be anything really. It's like I could choose whatever at that point. But, it tends to be when I hit semi-aged raw. I don't necessarily go for something super old at that point, but also I don't drink super young. So, 20-ish year old shung of some sort.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Thinking about too, and I think in general, I'm also the same way. If I do have two teas that are roughly the same quality, I'll have the lighter tea first, unless I'm just really craving that dark profile.
That's a good point too. Yeah.
So it will depend somewhat on that, but
Yeah.
I will pretty much try to have the nicer tea earlier on in the session because I really want to be focused on it.
Yeah.
After that.
Right. You're kind of mixing the qualities of nicer versus stronger.
Right.
Like this would be an interesting case because like it'd be nice to have a clean palate to taste this, but it's also very strong.
Yep.
So you might screw up a second tea if you're going to have it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the kind of tea that probably would stand on its own or maybe do like a very pointed comparison.
Yeah.
So
We're talking about the 501
correct. Yeah, which we're still sipping on here. It's getting a little bit lighter, but still plenty strong. And then for me, after that, I'll actually flex into something pretty different. So I might have green tea or black tea, an oolong tea. Probably would be of those three. Probably would be a black tea. After that, realistically, when I want to just have something that's very different, but I'm still interested in something warm and delicious. And then for me, if I'm going to end up having a big tea day, after that, it will be something usually much brighter and crisp. So it might be a green tea or more likely a white tea that I'm really familiar with. And I'll drink white tea. I probably shouldn't, but I'll drink white tea into the early evening. Just sit on something delicious and easy to brew, something I can like totally just let sit there forever and it's going to be great.
So sort of casual in a different way.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but so yeah, I still want to be experiencing it and focused on it, but I'm not as attentive to it necessarily. And I've also had a lot of tea already.
What are your teas when you're developing my.ttb.org?
Boulang.
Is it?
Honestly, I do like, that's a funny question. God, I do end up doing it way late at night. So then I'm just trying to think of
Okay, so maybe you're not really drinking tea then.
Well, but I shouldn't be what I am sometimes. So
Okay.
it'll be like the Viet Sun white tea.
Okay.
I love that iron cake late at night for some reason.
The Shangwan?
Yeah, dude, I had that when I got back. It was like 10 o'clock after flying, and I got home.
I know that you
just
drink that
wanted
quite a
tea.
bit.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's surprisingly tasty.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also just such a different profile.
Mm-hmm.
So comparing that to just like a classic 8582 or something very simple, familiar. It's just like a nice, they're both simple, but a nice thing to shake it up. So yeah, and then just in terms of like time frames, trying to get my tea drinking done before 2 p.m. It doesn't always happen. Breakfast cup is like 7-ish. The sort of nice first steeping that I have in the day, probably kind of like between 9 and 10-ish around for me.
This is very shockingly similar because
really?
It's around 7 and then around 9 or 10 when I'm doing it too.
Yeah. That's funny. This is like baby stuff kind of like dictates a lot of the...
It's true.
Yeah, practicalities
small
of
children
life.
in the house.
100%. And then maybe I'll be running around and then have a black tea or something that's really cozy. The other thing too that's worth noting with black teas is that you just maybe having 3 steepings, right?
Sure.
Oftentimes it's just like 2 good ones and then great, perfect, I'm done. So those teas tend to be lighter in general and steeping them for less time as well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my go-to. If you were going to have a big tea day, okay?
Yeah.
And so if you're going to have a big tea day, let's say you're drinking 3 teas, maybe even doing a comparison where you're drinking 3 steepings of 4 or 5 teas, how would you sort of bias that towards the beginning of the day so you're a little bit less caffeinated? How do you kind of try to fit that in strategically?
I definitely always try to fit it in early.
Yeah.
It would depend if I'm drinking on my own or not.
Right.
For me, at least, when I'm doing those comparisons, it helps for me to state like I am doing this for comparison's sake and not enjoyment. So I do not feel the need to steep out the teas, which I think is where you start to get in trouble. Right. Like, once you're on like steep 10 of 5 teas, you're kind of effed, so you sip it, you try to take it in, and then you dump if you need to, and then you just go quick. You do double rinses. So there's all kinds of like little tricks that aren't really like huge tricks, but you cut corners wherever you can.
Yeah. Makes sense. And you want to have the comparison be fairly quickly back to back because it's really easy to evaluate, or easier for me at least. I don't know about you, but easier for me to
it definitely
evaluate
can be.
differences.
Yeah.
that way. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way, although, yeah, sometimes it's just like, I'm just going for it.
Sure.
Screw it. I'm going to stay up late.
Then I'll almost always, on big T days, I'll always go for a workout
Nice.
later.
Yeah. I try to do that as well. I find that it dramatically helps me sleep better. Also,
Yeah.
sauna helps me as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Are you a shirt in the sauna guy?
No way.
There you
I mean,
go.
I have my own sauna built in my backyard. So.
You got to start doing some Denny soaps in the
naked.
sauna.
Oh, my God.
Brewing some iron cake here. Oh, shoot, I just dropped it.
Yeah.
Next day, your life's like, sauna smell kind of smoky.
Yeah. It's just the Boulong, babe. Don't worry about it. Anyway,
That's the yeah, man.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
smoke honey conversion.
so comment below. Let us know how you guys fit tea into your lives. It's kind of an interesting thing. I think probably some of the boundedness of our tea experiences these days is about having kids.
Yeah.
And then just kind of like your own time frame of when you wake up and stuff like that.
Sure. I mean, I will say, too, one change is like, we've had TDB for a long time now, 13, 14 years, something like that. It's like when we were just started, do you think you drank tea at different hours? Because I know for sure that I did.
Oh, man.
Last question. Yeah.
Way less consistent, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know I drank later.
Yeah,
like
me
I would
too.
be willing to drink in the evening.
Oh, yeah.
And
same.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like
5
now
o'clock was a fine time to be having tea.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to film at TDB right around this 5 p.m. And
Yeah,
now
totally.
we're much earlier in the day.
It's too old now, dude.
Yeah.
These bones are too creaky, man.
Yeah.
Now, it's strangely enough too, because actually caffeine, I guess the sensitivity of caffeine does technically go down over time as you age, but I know for me, it affects me quite a bit.
Yeah.
So my big tea days, I'm definitely noticing it.
I mean, you as a parent of small children too, you have no luxury to sleep in too. You're not like, I'm going to sleep till 8:30 today.
Yeah.
It's like 8:30. You kidding me?
Yeah.
More like 6.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So comment below, let us know if there's another topic that you guys are interested in us talking about, just getting our opinion on it. Maybe you already think we have said it, but it'd be useful to put it in a specifically themed video. Let us know as well. We're super interested in that kind of stuff. Subscribe, click buttons, send this to your dog's chiropractor.
They need it.
Until next time.
Cheerio.
Peace.